Abba dibashmaya, nitqadash shemach, tete malkutach, yehbed reunach, kedi beshmaya ken bar'a. Hablana lachma disunqalan yomana, ushbok lana hoben, keden af anachna, shbakin lehayaben lana, wa'el te'el lana lnisyona, ela paschednana min bisha. That is the Lord's Prayer in the reconstructed Galilean Western Aramaic that is supposed to have been spoken around the time of Jesus in the Holy Land in those days. Okay, this is different from most of the Aramaic Lord's Prayers that you've been hearing in other videos and elsewhere on the internet. The Aramaic Lord's Prayer is most widely distributed as the Aramaic Lord's Prayer is the Lord's Prayer that is found in the Aramaic Bible, which was translated into a different dialect of Aramaic, a different form of Aramaic called Syriac Aramaic, at least a couple of centuries after the New Testament was written in the original Greek form. Okay, the events of Jesus' life, of course, must have happened sometime around 2,000 years ago, as we all know. Those stories were preserved as oral information for a couple of decades until they were committed into writing, probably into a Greek form, which was at the time the most widely used language in those parts of the Roman Empire, ever since Alexander the Great had conquered the Middle East and the Persian Empire from the Persians to the Greeks 3 centuries before. But the translation into Aramaic only happened from the Greek. Okay, the Aramaic Bible was translated from the Greek into an Eastern Aramaic form of the language called Syriac. So this is the Lord's Prayer as it has been reconstructed to have been spoken by actual people around the time of Jesus. It's a likely version. Nobody knows exactly what words were used. So this is a reconstruction. We don't have the actual original. The original version in Greek will be shown later in the video. We're going to contrast that with the Syriac Aramaic that we see in the Syriac Bible, the Peshitta, which was translated, as I said, several centuries after, into a different dialect, a more Eastern dialect of Aramaic, spoken in what is now probably Syria or maybe northern Iraq, some 270 years after the events of the New Testament. So you can see here that the Galilean dialect is Abba dibashmaya in reconstructed Galilean, in Syriac from the Peshitta, Abun dibashmaya. The Abun is like our father instead of Abba. Abba is father only. Father which are in heaven. The D or D is like a relative pronoun, which Abba dibashmaya. Shmaya is heaven. Bashma, B is a preposition. Prepositions are sometimes connected to the beginning of the word in Aramaic, just like in Hebrew and Arabic. So, Shmaya is sky, Bashmaya is in the sky. Father who in the sky. There is no verb to be in the present. You don't say you who are in the sky. The Father who is in the sky. You drop the is. There's no present form of the verb to be as there isn't any in Hebrew or Arabic either. Nit Kadash Shemach. Kadash is holy. Kadash is to sanctify. Hit Kadash is to become sanctified, to be sanctified. Is the passive form. Some verbs form a passive form adopting the prefix hit or it in Aramaic, just like in Hebrew. And also Nit Kadash Shemach, that your name be sanctified, your name. Shema is name. Shemach is your name. In Syriac we have Nit Kadash Shmoch. Almost the same. Tete malkutach. Tete is come. Is a feminine form of the future of the verb to come, which is ata in the third person present past of the masculine form. Malkuta is kingdom. Malkutach is your kingdom, thy kingdom. It's a feminine word. That's why it takes the tete form, which is a feminine. If it were a masculine word, it would be yete, but it's tete. Tete malkutach in Syriac as well. Yebed reunach. Yebed is a form of the verb abad, which is to make, similar to avod in Hebrew, which is to work. Yebed, be made your reunach. Reunah is will. Reunach is thy will, thy desire, your desire. In Syriac, we have nechwe sebyanak. So you see that sebyana is the word for desire there. In Syriac, they use a very different word. Reunach in Galilean, but sebyanach in the Peshitta Syriac as will. Kedi beshmaya ken bar'a. Aikana the bashmaya ken ap bar'a. So there's the conjunction there is different. Kedi, which is also in Syriac, they use aikana. The other parts are essentially similar. Bar'a, ar'a is earth, just like aretz in Hebrew, or ard in Arabic. Hablana, give us. Hablana. La is to. Na is us. Lana, hablana. Give us lachma, the bread. Disun kanan yomama, yomana, which is of our daily need, which is of our need for today. Ushbok lana hoben. Forgive to us our debts. Forgive to us the debts. This hoben. Ushbok lan hoben in Syriac. Keden af achnachna shbakin l'hayaben lana. Akan adap hanan shbakin hayabin. As we also forgive our debtors. Keden af anachna. Keden is also as. Anachna is us, we. Achna shbakin, we forgive. L'habayen. L'habayen is to our debtors. To the debtors, lana. To the debtors to us. Wa'al te'elana l'nisyona. And do not lead us. Helana te'elana. Do not lead. Nisyona. Into temptation. Ela pasenana min bisha. Bisha is evil. Bisha. Pasenana, free us. Pasen is to free. Pasenana, free us. Min is from. Free us from evil. In Syriac, have ela pashan min bisha, almost the same. In the optional doxology. And the amin. Amin is the word for certain, sure, secure, correct. That's why you say amin. Amen in Hebrew, in Aramaic, in Arabic mean sure, safe. Something that you say when somebody says something that you agree with, you say amen. Correct, safe, right. Here, take a glimpse. You can visit the document that I'm showing you. There's a document linked under the video that will contain all of the information shown in the video. Okay, you can access it right there. And all the information there, and also information to contact me if you want me as a teacher of biblical languages, as well as ancient Greek and Latin, as well as modern European languages like Russian, Italian, German, French, Spanish, available as an online tutor. And you can also access my online dictionary, the Intuitionary, which is the internet's only thematic multilingual dictionary. Here's the verb to come. You can see that the tete form can also be the second person masculine, but in this case is the third person feminine singular form. As I said, malkuta is kingdom, is feminine. So tete malkuta is your kingdom will come. That's the feminine future of the verb. In the document, you can also see the verb to give, properly conjugated in Arabic, in Aramaic. It's a very different verb from both Arabic and Hebrew. And here is the Lord's Prayer in the original Greek as we find it in the New Testament. Okay, most people think that maybe the New Testament has some Aramaic version before. Scholars usually agree that the earliest versions of the New Testament, the four Gospels, were actually written in Greek, not in Aramaic. Even though the story probably played out in Aramaic, even about that we're not entirely sure, because many people did speak Greek. Among the Jews of the time, among the Jews, the Romans, many people who lived in the ancient Holy Land of Israel and so on. It was a very multilingual territory. Some people spoke Hebrew as well. Hebrew had been replaced by Aramaic since the times of the Persian Empire. some 500 years before, during the 200-year reign of the Persians over the Holy Land. The Aramaic language became the de facto lingua franca, the most widespread language of communication between all the Middle Eastern peoples, at least east of Egypt, all the way from Egypt to Persia. And that Greek, Alexander the Great invaded the Middle East in the year 320 or so before Christ, and Greek was also imposed as a major language in the Middle East until Roman times. Latin was never superseded Greek in its use, and that's why the Byzantine Empire, which inherited the Roman Empire and developed Orthodox Christianity, used essentially Greek as the liturgical language. So you can take a look here at the Lord's Prayer in Greek. Pater hemon, o en tois uranois, agiasteto, ton onomasu, eltheto, i basiliasu, genetheto, ton thelimasu, os en urano, ken epiges, ton arton, imon, ton epiusion, dos himin, semeron, ke apes, imin ta ophelemata emon, oskai hemeis, apiemen, tois ophelietais, hemon, ke me ensenenges hemas esperasmon, ala rusai hemas apotu poniro. That's the Greek version of the Lord's Prayer. There's one controversy there. The word epiousios, which is quantifying the word for bread, right there. Ton arton epiousion. That's the accusative of o artos epiousios, which is our what bread? What is epiousios? That word does not occur anywhere else in ancient Greek literature. Its interpretation is still a bit of a mystery. Some people think it's necessary. Some people think it's coming, something that's a future, that there's a future need. So there is no clear interpretation of the word epiousios, which was translated as the sunkanan, which is the necessary bread. Sunkanan, lachma, the sunkanan in Aramaic. There's no actual consensus there. So that's it. That's the Lord's Prayer in original languages. Stay tuned for more videos. You can ask for more videos on biblical languages and modern languages here on my channel. And you can visit the rest of the channel's archives. I already have a few dozen languages here, but I will make probably the biggest YouTube channel regarding language descriptions and information on linguistics and the history and the present and the reality of languages on YouTube. Okay? See you on the next video.